Hello everyone, my name is RWBY and there is now a RWBY anime. Yes, that's right, there is now a full-on anime series based on the RWBY IP from Rooster Teeth Productions, called RWBY Ice Queendom. It is made by Studio Shaft in Japan and it will air sometime in 2022. This was originally teased on February 1st as the Team RWBY project, and now we have much more information, including a trailer. So in this video, I am sharing everything we know. So first, yes, a 2022 release window. No further release date has been given, nor do we know how many episodes it will have or anything like that. During a livestream announcement, the cast said to stay tuned to the official website and Twitter account for news as it drops. Now, if you ask me, I think we're not too far away from it. I think what's happening is that this will release somewhat soonish, like within the next few months, and will allow Volume 9 of the main series to release later in the year, likely in October. Though we'll have a better answer for that either in April or July. Or alternatively, they could be airing on top of each other at the end of the year, but that would be less than ideal and something they probably want to avoid. With Studio Shaft producing this Ice Queendom series, it has already had some other industry names attached as well, that I will butcher, but bear with me. Toshimasa Suzuki as director, Gen Yorobuchi for the animation concept, which is weird since he's known more so as a writer. To Ubukata is on for the writing credit, series composition and script, the official wording for it, and character design by Huke. Now you might know those names from Madoka Magica, Psycho Pass, Steins Gate, Fate Zero, the Monogatari series, and of course, other properties from Studio Shaft. Because it is produced in Japan, the Japanese voice acting comes first, not English like it was for the Japanese dub of RWBY's main series. All of the voice talent for both teams RWBY and Juniper, as well as Ozpin, have been confirmed to carry over their roles from that Japanese dub. More cast and crew have been credited on the anime's official website as well, which I'm linking in the description. Now, what is RWBY Ice Queendom about? The trailer shows that this keeps to many of the events of Volume 1. Salem's opening narration is included, the dust robbery, the Emerald Forest Beacon Academy initiation, Weiss's match against the Borbitusk, and Team RWBY out in downtown Vale near the end. All of that is included in this trailer. And everything appears largely the same, with even the dialogue copy-pasted. But of course, there will come some turning point that brings it into something different. The trailer ends with two Weisses, despite a mirror having already been shattered, suggesting that this is not necessarily a reflection. And I cannot stress this enough, what we've seen so far, save for that ending, looks like a carbon copy of the show, but in a way that takes full advantage of 2D animation. The world of the show, or the lore, seems basically the same as well. The official website describes humans, faunus, grim, aura, semblances, magic, the four kingdoms, the four maidens, even the White Fang and the CCT communication towers. They're all described the same as they appear in the main series. According to messages from the cast and crew, the Ice Queendom anime is made to be digestible and appealing for new audiences as well as current fans. They say they want to maintain the dynamic and sharp action scenes from the show, along with the appeal of the character scenes. However, much like the main show has a turning point, it's inevitable that this will as well. On the website's characters page, we see everybody has their classic Beacon era outfit and an alternate outfit that is more suited for the cold. Plus, there is the promotional image that was released on February 1st of Weiss, and the anime's name is Ice Queendom. Its focus on Weiss will be a central point in what separates it from the main series. Perhaps she owns her place in the Shinny Dust Company instead of rejecting it, or this Weiss is that other Weiss from the trailer. We don't know. Just as I am sharing everything we know, I should share what we don't know. We don't know at what point this big change happens, so we can't say Pyrrha is going to die again, or Beacon is going to fall again at the tournament. It's telling its own story, so we don't know when or how it will separate from the main series' events. My personal guess is before Volume 3 happens. I think the trailer showed Volume 1 stuff, partly because that's all it could show. That's all that happens before it shifts. I'm going to take a second to dissect the character designs and add what they could tell us about the show. Again, the first thing is it's the Beacon era again, but with new alternate costumes. As we see in a pop-up parade concept, RWBY's Crescent Rose weapon transforms into a snowboard. This is a casual, sporty look for RWBY. Weiss has the Esdeath looking getup from the original teaser image, major story implications there. Blake has much more purple instead of black, and the tail that you see in the second image is maybe not an actual tail, just aesthetic. This is because it's not there in the original outfit. That is one interpretation for Blake. Another is that there is not one singular Weiss-dominant alternate universe at play, but that there are a few universes in this quote-unquote mirror, maybe, and one of them has Blake with an actual tail and ears, which goes against the universe's rule of Flaunis having only one animal trait. Or this one alternate universe has Team RWBY leading separate lives, so there's multiple what-if scenarios happening all at once. Like, what if RWBY was actually a normal girl, Weiss never had daddy issues, Blake stayed with the White Fang, and Yang never had mommy issues? Like, what if all of those things were true, right? And for Yang, Yang has a ponytail, which a lot of folks love from her main series Volume 4 design, but other than that, I'm not really too sure how to interpret Yang's design, other than to say that it's still cold weather focused with the boots. Now to get to Team Juniper, John's idea for dressing up for the cold is just a beanie, scarf, and gloves. Design-wise, it works well because it is incredibly fitting for his character. The main series character design artist Ayn Lee had John described to her as, quote, a goofy dork with homemade armor. So I get wanting more for him, something cooler, but like, this fits. Nora's ensemble uses her color palette in a similar way as her Atlas Arc outfit from the main series. And I will say, Pyrrha's got a lot going on, and it's odd at first, but there seems to be a story-relevant reason for it. Her outfit is quite literally the same as Weiss's Mistral outfit, but in Pyrrha's color palette. And given how she and Weiss are the only ones with unique poses on the alternate costumes, and they are similar T-poses with each other, right? They're the similar poses together. And Pyrrha has her hair down, which is a look that's literally never seen anywhere else in RWBY. Like, there are all of these similarities with Weiss, and it's just, in general, it's just rather ominous to me. It seems to point to something story relevant in the anime, as if she and Weiss are together in something. But that is purely speculation on my part. And finally, with Ren, there's a lot of weight added to the look, much more so than for anybody else. And let's not forget about Ozpin. He is stuck with his Beacon-era look. Except for him, it's a black suit, not dark green like in the main series. But with this new redesign, there is a green accent on Ozpin's lapel trim. So even though they're keeping to the original Beacon-era outfits, they did touch them up slightly here and there. When making this anime, Studio Shaft had some supervision from Rooster Teeth. The goal was to keep it within the brand of RWBY, while also allowing the Japanese team to tell their own story. And this is pretty much the same as what we hear whenever Rooster Teeth has a side project, like a book or a comic series. They always allow whatever creatives they're working with to basically tell their own story, but just make sure that it, relatively speaking, sticks within what they want for the brand of RWBY, like what is possible to happen in this world that they've created. That is all of the information we know about the story, but there are still a couple other things. There are also, as I've kind of alluded to already, there are Good Smile figures in the works for the new designs, both as Nendoroids and Pop-Up Parade figures. Now, there is no word or confirmation yet about more figures being made, at least in terms of Nendoroids, but personally, I would imagine that all of Team RWBY would get one. And RWBY Ice Queendom will have a manga as well, so on top of the official RWBY manga that was made years ago from Shiromiwa, which adapted the early Beacon years of the show, There is a new manga for a show that is also set during the Beacon era, or a Beacon era of some sort, albeit an alternate universe. And lastly, they have already revealed the opening and ending themes for this new anime show. The opening is called Beyond Selves by Void Chords featuring L, and the ending is called Awake by Saori Hayami, who is also the voice of Ruby Rose. Some of the ending theme was shown in the trailer, and it was also performed on that panel live stream as well. Now that about does it. That is everything we know about RWBY Ice Queendom. Again, this is an official anime property made by Studio Shaft with a 2022 release window and an all-new alternate universe story inspired by the Beacon era of the main series. In many ways, it's a testament to the RWBY IP's success. This is a major property to the point where I would say that while it isn't canon to the main show, it is big enough that it has its own canon. It is not some small side material like RWBY has gotten in the past with comics and anthology books. This very well can and will have its own audience completely separate from the main series, and not just in Japan. The new character designs point toward a different remnant than we know, and there are likely story-relevant reasons for some of the outfits, not just Weiss and Apira. So what do you think? Are you excited? It is a Japanese 2D animated series that really does, if you look at the trailer, it really does take full advantage of 2D. And what's your new favorite outfit for the main characters? Let me know down below. And while you're around, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. I'm Raijin Rising. Have a good one.